Welcome back to the Keg King channel. I'm Daniel. Today we're going to be putting together the new line of fermenters from Keg King, the Apollo fermenters. This is a 30-liter closed bottom fermenter, much like the snub noses that we've had in the past, but with better features, much wider lids. And if you've already put together some of our fermenters in the past, you'll have no problem putting this one together. It's a very simple build, so let's get started. So before we get started, I just want to show people one thing. It's going to lead you to this video and to the web page for the Snub Nose Apollos. On the boxes, by scanning this QR code, you'll open the web page. You might already be on the web page. You're probably already watching the video now anyway, but this is how you can access instructions, the web page, the Apollo accessories, everything. Just scan the QR code on the box and you'll get everything that you need. So let's jump right in and start putting together the Apollo. So the Apollo Snub Nose fermenter comes in this box, and we are going to go ahead and get it out of the box now, and I'll show you how it's all packaged inside. Once you get the box open, you're going to go ahead and remove the tank, which comes in its own nice plastic bag. You're also going to find this stand. This is a new stand that's been made just for the Apollo fermenters, so it's a little bit different in shape than the ones that we've had in the past, but similar features. The last two things you're going to find inside the box are this bag of equipment and the thermo well. So we'll go ahead and put these up here, and then we'll start putting together this fermenter. So now that we got everything out of the box, let's go ahead and get rid of all these bags. So this is everything inside the packs. There is a couple little bags. I'm going to leave them bagged so that you can see how they're grouped when you get them. This build could change a little bit, but this is the equipment that you're going to use to put together your Apollo Snub Nose fermenter. So we're going to start with the lid assembly. So go ahead and locate your plastic lid, which is this piece here, and that comes with two pieces actually. There's the lid and then there's the collar. And inside the collar is where we usually package the volume sticker. You can put this aside for a little later. So for right now, we'll just go ahead and put this up here. You don't have to push it into place because we're going to be working with it. The collar, go ahead and pop that to the side for right now as well. So now as part of this, you're going to get a dry hop port in this wider lid. These lids are much wider than the ones that we've had in the past. You'll be able to get your hand into the tank if you need to. It's quite easy to use, but making it even easier is a dry hop port on the top. Now a lot of people wonder why they don't dry hop through the bottom. Well, we don't know really of any professional breweries that do this other than those that are using hop guns or other large torpedo-like devices to recirculate the beer in fermentation through some sort of hopping device. Most professional breweries will be dry hopping through the top of their fermentation vessels into a cloud of gas that is already happening with the fermentation. So with this, it is a small port. You can use a funnel. There is a dry hop port, and in this dry hop port, you're going to place one of your three PRVs. So it's up to you where you set your PRV control pressure for your fermentations. The red is a 35. The purple is 15 and the blue is 10. So with this build, I'm just going to go ahead and select the red one, and you screw that right into the dry hop port. So if you were to add dry hops to this at some point, you are going to pull on this PRV to relieve pressure. So that's your dry hop port assembly with the PRV sitting in the lid. These two bags have your posts and dip tubes in them. There's a gas and a liquid one. The gas one is going to have a small notch just at the base of the post. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the gas one on first in this case, and you can choose either side of these as well to have your gas or your liquid post on. It's up to you. But the first thing you're going to go ahead and do is find this dip tube and go ahead and push it into the threaded opening here on the top of the lid. So with these two smaller areas here, this is for your posts. This dip tube just fits right in there like that. Now, the post itself has a poppet and a spring. So go ahead and put the long end of the poppet into the narrow end of the spring, and you're going to put them on top of where you just put that dip tube. Now what I would recommend, because this is a stainless steel to plastic threaded connection, start by going backwards. Instead of twisting it right into place, make sure you're right on the right threads. You'll see like there's this little dip right there that means that you're on the threads. And from that point, you can start twisting it into place. So you're going to do the same for the other side now. Now, you have this center port. This center port is a 1/2 inch BSP, and it is 1/2 inch BSP on top and on the bottom, because this lid is quite versatile when we use it in the uni tanks as well as in the snub noses. So what we're going to do with this one though, the snub nose comes with a thermo well. Your thermo well should already have the O-ring installed inside of it to be able to have it sit nicely on the inside portion of this 1/2 inch center BSP thread. So go ahead and just screw this into place, just like that. So there you go. Now the probe from your temp controller can easily fit into this port, and this will allow for up to about a 6mm probe to be inserted into this thermo well so that you can get true liquid reads out of this tank. So we'll go ahead and put this here for right now. Now the fun part, the floating dip tube. These are a little bit challenging sometimes, but these ones are actually a little bit longer, so you are going to have to cut this, but not right away. Locate your silicone tubing. And remember we were saying there's a difference between the two posts. Some of you already know this. The liquid is just a plain base, but the gas has a little nick, a little notch in it that will indicate that that's the gas side. On the liquid side is where you want to put your dip tube. So you'll be able to just go ahead and slide the tubing up into place onto the dip tube that's sticking down from the liquid post. So as you can see, we've got the silicone dip tube onto this metal dip tube under the lid. But it's already a bit long too, isn't it? So what we want to do to get a centralized floating dip tube is cut this silicone dip tube at about 55 to 60 millimeters from the length of the thermo well that's sticking into this. So that's the thermo well. You're going to measure about to right about there and cut. So as you can see, that's about the length that you need to have this dip tube, because now you're going to locate your stainless steel floating float and go ahead and find the tube on the floating float and go ahead and put that into the silicone tube just like that. You can use a little bit of spray sanitizer for lubricant if you want to. So push it up into place. So now that the stainless steel float is attached, take the key ring, put it over the thermo well like that. So that's your centralized floating pickup. Now you'll be able to pick up liquid from the center of the tank aligned on this thermo well. So it's very easy to clean and keep like this, and it's stretchy enough that you can take it off. You don't need to pick up anything really too much further underneath the thermo well in your tank, because that's where all the sediment is going to collect anyway. So having a clear tank, you'll really be able to see where that sediment layer is and stop your transfers before you start picking up the sediment at the bottom of your tank. So now that you've got this whole build put together, go ahead and pop it onto your tank. You can use a little bit of keg lube if you want to, or you can use sanitizer for a little bit of lubricant to be able to push this into place in the neck. These larger lids seal really well in these necks. That red O-ring really helps to seal really tight. So go ahead, push in and get this to sit all the way into your fermenter. So go ahead, push down. You'll see it gets really nice and flush with the plastic of the tank itself. And that's it. You're going to grab your collar and just give it a spin. Go ahead and locate your volume sticker. As you can see, it's got increments up to 30, and there's a red line on it. So the red line is going to go right at the join of the neck and the tank body. I would recommend on one of the sides with the handles, if you can do it, you'll see that there's a seam kind of running down the tank. That'll give you a nice straight up and down line. For those of you who really want to get this perfect and not have it look weird, let's try to get this perfect. We'll use the seam on the side. Cool, so there's your increment sticker on the side. If you want to, you can try going and putting a liter of water in there at first, and then first increment down here for 1. You're going to just put it right at the water line when this is nice and level on top. If you really want to do a great job with it, you'll grab a small spirit level, put it on top, put that first liter of water in. You can try starting from the bottom and then working that sticker all the way up to the top. And again, you don't have to put it here underneath the handle. I just did because there's a seam. It gives me an idea of where I can lay the sticker down so it's nice and straight against that seam, because that is a nice straight line. But if you want to, you can put this sticker anywhere you want on the outside of your tank. Now locate your thermometer sticker. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, but some people like it because it gives them a general idea of the ambient temperatures around their tank. So that leaves us with this sticker. You can put this on your tank if you want to. I would recommend that you do, so you are always reminded of what you can do with these tanks. Once you've got your Apollo all assembled, make sure to check it under pressure. You can put in a bit of liquid and put in a little bit of pressure, and you're going to check for leaks. Using soapy water or sanitizer, you're going to look for leaks around the joins. As you fill up the Apollo, you're going to hear the plastic creak a little bit. That's because it's a much thicker plastic than we use in any of our other fermenters. So it does make a few sounds when you're filling it up, but don't worry, it's just the sound of the plastic flexing as you do. So there you have it. That's the Apollo Snub Nose, the closed bottom fermenter that now comes in a stand that you can easily pick up like this, or you can pick it up from these handles as well, even when it's full. They may not look like they're very strong, but these handles are rated to be able to hold much more weight than even when this thing is full. So you are able to pick up your fermenter and put it in the stand. You're also able to grab around the fermenter like this and carry it wherever you need to. But being a pressure fermenter, you can always just push the liquid to where your fermenter is sitting under pressure. Each one of these fermenters is made right here in Springvale by Keg King in Australia. We're very proud of that fact. We're very proud of the Apollo line of fermenters. Thank you for getting one. We hope you enjoy it. Thanks, brewers.